Hey guys, God's really been wanting me to make these videos lately. I guess I'm back. I have a feeling though that things are gonna shift up ahead. I'm not sure what that's gonna look like, but hey, sweetie, what are you doing? What are you doing, cutie? But we have some things to talk about right now because things are about to, some really incredible miracles are about to happen. And I know I've been saying that for a long time, but it's because God's been trying to encourage you guys that your long suffering and your faith is not in vain. It's all about to happen. Some really incredible things are all about to happen, but you had to be patient and you had to keep your healing going and you had to keep your faith going for these divine miracles to unfold in your life. And I know a lot of people are feeling like giving up about now on a lot of in a lot of different ways. And everyone's being faced with their greatest fears in these times, for sure. So we need to defeat the devil this weekend, is the message. Defeat the devil this weekend. Defeat the devil now. Take out your Byron Katie tablets if you've been learning how to do Byron Katie. Take out your, all your book that you've been meaning to read, you know, whatever. I'm going to put my phone on airplane. I have the feeling something might come through. Okay. We're still on the precipice of there being authority figures looming over rules and regulations and tyranny and force, and you have broken a rule, you have broken a law or whatever, which all they're doing is actually illegal. It's illegal, and anybody doing anything heartfelt and kind and loving is never breaking the law, ever. No matter what kind of law, rule, or regulation you're talking about, it's a fact. You're never, according to common law, there are three things, and all of them have to do with ill intention. Those are the only laws that are going to stand in the days ahead. Everything else, there will be lawsuits involved because it's illegal. What they've been doing all this time for way too long has been completely illegal. Um, so the three rules: do not steal and do not intentionally steal. Do not intentionally kill someone and do not intentionally scam somebody. I say intentionally because things can be made to look a certain way when somebody's actually innocent. But if it can be proven that they had ill intention, they went into it with that intention, then yeah, that's you know, that's something that can stand up. Um, but if you're not causing anybody any harm, and if you have a loving intent, and you truly are trying to do the right thing in what you're doing, you got nothing to be. You shouldn't have anything to be afraid of. Everything should work out to your favor. And in the days ahead, and I'm talking like days to weeks ahead, we have attorneys, attorneys who we thought were working for us, but they're actually working for the British Crown. We've had court systems that were completely satanic that were against us as well, and taking people's children from them. And it's just a big sex trafficking ring. So all of these truths are coming out very soon. I'm not the only one talking about this, and I have a very small audience compared to some of these people talking about it. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure I know why they're coming after me like that, though. They want my destiny. That they want my destiny. They want what I'm going to become, and they want to stop what I'm going to do. So, um, please don't try not to come up with don't listen to people's lies, for one. because a lot of people on the dark side are trying to throw good people under the bus, and they're lying about it, or they're exaggerating, or things like that. So if somebody's coming to you trying to accuse somebody of something, or trying to tell on them or whatever, they could be framed. It could be wrong. It could be totally misunderstood. It could be, so ask clarifying questions. Don't assume anything bad. And so that would be like the first thing. Or if somebody accuses somebody of, like, you've heard gossip or something like that, like ask questions or go see for yourself or something, just clarify. Clarify without jumping to any conclusions. And do not listen to laws, rules, and regulations if somebody is coming from a good place. Stand up for the right thing right now. Stand up for our future. The true and original Constitution, our true original rights, not the satanic way, not the I must abide by way. Don't be afraid of your boss. Don't be afraid of any type of like authority figure that's going to have your hide if you don't do this and that and the other thing. We need to stand up for what's right now. Stand up against the devil. Now, we know, if you've been watching my channel for a while now, the devil has many faces. And now I know some Luciferians and Satanists watch my channel. There's confirmation, if you heard that. And they watch me because they would love to see me fall. And I'm about to tell you just how much they would love to see me fall. But so I'm using terms loosely when I say devil and Satan and all of that. Okay, there are many more of their crazy gods. But these guys are very much misled. They don't understand the power of God. They don't know God. So, and they're about to be shown what and who God is, or at least God's power, and they know it. So, and they can tell by, okay, I'm like living proof. That's part of the reason some of the triggered ones, I could call us the triggered ones just as much as the chosen ones. I'm an anointed triggered one. An anointed targeted one. So this anointed targeted one, I want to just let you know what I've survived in the last, I don't know, year or two, I guess. I went through my records, at least what I could find right now, just to let you know what I've been hit with and survived, okay? And then we're going to go through my cats. You're just not going to believe this. Now, some of these things are the thing you have to realize, like some people think that, okay, so I'm going to give an example of this. Okay, I was hospitalized with PTSD a very long time ago. And I've talked about it on my channel. And it's a source of inspiration for many of you because of the tough stuff that I've been through and how I've been able to recover in a healthy way without taking any pharmaceuticals or anything like it. Just changing the way that I look at things, just changing my perspective on life. And that's what I've been sharing with you guys for so long, right? Well, the evil powers that be have heard me talk about this, so they know that that's like the PTSD is a trigger of mine. And so Satan, saying it loosely, of course, because there's many different demons and minions and all that stuff, but basically they know what's going on in your body. Even they know what would trigger this, that, and the other thing for there to be a chain reaction to eventually cause this thing that happens. Okay. So even though many of you are not healers like me, but I know that everything is always energetic. It's energetic and it appears physical. So you may, I don't know, I'll use the example like I said. Okay. I had 2 absolute panic attacks in the last few weeks. About 3 weeks ago, I think it is now, about 3 weeks ago, I had a complete meltdown. And I was just crying my eyes out, just sobbing and so afraid and so like I was going to say broken, but not broken, but definitely like um just feeling like I don't know how to climb out of this terror that I was feeling. I knew it didn't make sense. I knew that the real me is handles what I was thinking about well. And I knew that I knew the core of it, that at the core of it, that I'm a really good person and I always make the right choices and I always decide everything by God. So I know I'm in the right. I'm in the right standing. There shouldn't be anything that I should be that afraid of, if that makes sense. So for there to be something like that was getting to me that bad, that I was that afraid of, it came from just me being a very, very loving person, a very, very loving person. So things matter to me. And when I've poured my love into something, I don't want to see it hurt. I don't want to see, certain things. Uh, yeah. So I had this breakdown and I did energy work and I meditated and I became very present. I touched things. I told myself I am going to handle this demon attack because that's what all things negative are. Whether you're doubting yourself or you're just a little insecure or it's an outright attack like what I went through, at least I knew that this isn't me. And for all of you watching right now, if you've had anything negative like that happen, it wasn't you. My PTSD that happened years ago, that was an attack. I wish I would have known then what I know now, because I would have just looked at myself and been like, it's not you. It's not you. Let's just do an energy clearing and clear it off of you. So, but physical things come in as factors as well, and they trigger this or that or the other thing. But there's demons behind the whole thing. There's demons that make the person like the first anxiety attack I had a few weeks ago. It was from pesticides. It put my body so whacked out of balance that all your body can be very fragile. It's very resilient, but it's also very fragile. So along with the demons that caused the person to put the pesticides out there in the first place, or wherever it was, because I'm not sure where I got it, where I inhaled it or whatever, but I have a suspicion because beautiful, beautiful, these beautiful bushes that I was so admiring and loving so much have now kind of shriveled down and gone down. So I was like, I bet that's where I got it. I bet that's what it is. And it broke my heart because the bushes were so beautiful. But anyway, so yeah. So yes, it was caused by the pesticides, but it was the devil or demons that jumped into the person who decided to kill the beautiful bush for whatever reason, felt like, it was the right reason or whatever they thought. Because you have to protect things and there's reasons people do things, but in a case like that, with as much love as I had for that bush and everything, demons knew that it would break my heart. So they were definitely like putting a lot of pressure on whoever sprayed those pesticides. Like, you better take that down or it's going to damage blah, 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 or whatever. So, you know how you see how all this comes to play, but there's all this like demonic energy or dark energy or black magic that's going on in the meantime. I mean, here's behind that. Here's behind that, because like who sent out the demon? Why was it important for the demon to go after the guy that sprayed the pesticides or whatever? Well, behind that is a bunch of these like Satanists and Luciferians and people like that who are back there doing some kind of seance, wearing masks, whispering into baskets, putting things on mantles, chanting that all the good, kind, loving people of this world are destroyed, are like emotionally, physically, financially destroyed, taken down completely. So they can't do anything. Because why? Because their demise is on the other side of it. If we rise up and we do well in this world and everything turns around like it is, God's got the victory and those guys are gone. So they're like in their mind, it's like either us or them. I need to kill them, get rid of them, or I'm gone. That's what it really comes down to. And these guys work in a vast network, and there's many, many of them in every town, everywhere. And they're all involved in sex trafficking. They're all raping and killing and drinking children's blood and crazy stuff like that that we would never even possibly even do. They get paid to spy on people. They get paid to tell on people. They get paid to, use tyranny to scare and frighten people and make them leave their residences for ridiculous reasons. Anything like that they can do to ruin someone's life or further traumatize them, they will do it at any means possible. So they do all this spell work and they do all these seances and crazy stuff to ruin people's lives that are good, loving people who are going to make a difference in this world and inspire so many people in the days ahead. Okay. So now you can see why they're attacking me, right? Even though my audience is small, it's going to be a big audience later, or I'm just going to reach that many people. So, and we also know that my ex divine masculine has been playing with my numbers on YouTube. He's able to manipulate things on YouTube too. So, and we also know we looked at some cards one time and saw that the alliance was actually a part of it too, wanting to kind of keep me small for a period until I'm ready to expand, which I've been getting messages lately that I am going to be expanding. I don't know what that's going to look like again, but anyway. So, this has just been done to me in the while that I've uh in this while that I've been being attacked by these people, by these crazy people. Okay. Who could have been spending all that time doing Byron Katie and doing healing instead of being resentful and jealous and all that stuff and wanting what you have or what you will have or whatever. All right. So, okay, so here's what's crazy too. It's because I'm starting with the most recent and actually going backwards. So it's gonna kind of look backwards because some of the things that happened caused the other things that happened. Oh yeah, and then I had yes, okay. So I also had a meltdown. I think it was yesterday. No, the day before yet. No, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I don't remember. But again, now and I got to tell you, the panic attack only lasted about like maybe a few hours. But that's only because I'm so self-aware and I know how to do energy work and I know how to align my chakras and I know how to climb out of that, of the attack. It's really an attack. They shouldn't, it's a panic attack, but it's a demonic attack, if you guys get that. Okay. So what happened was, this is what I'm surmising. This isn't necessary, this is what I've been picking up on intuitively and what I feel I have valid proof of. The A very sweet, helpful person came into my life and was, doing all kinds of things for me and being very helpful. Um, and then all of a sudden things started happening with my cats. And so then I had to make that call that I've been telling you guys about. I call and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Why are the cats acting like this? Well, they've been exposed to asbestos. And I'm like, well, did I get exposed to it? Well, no, you didn't. So what's the difference? I wonder why the cats had it and I didn't have it, right? And I was like, what the heck could that be? I was actually processing it out loud with the person over the phone. Like, what could that? And then they even said, yeah, when I found that out, like when you got your results back, I was really like, what in the world? Why would that be? And then I thought, it's the carpet. It's the carpet because I walk around usually with shoes on. I walk around with Crocs on. And they obviously don't. So I was like, that's what it was. And then I kind of laughed jokingly, and I was like, oh, my sweet little neighbor came and dropped some asbestos powder on my carpet or something, and started laughing. And at that moment, I looked down, and there's a pile of powder. I mean, not like a big pile, but like to where it poofed when I stepped on it with my toe on my tennis shoe at that moment. That is God. That is the power of God. And I will tell you, that last time before she came over here, God said, do not ever let her back in your place again. And I was like, oh, but she's so sweet and she's so helpful. I'm like, I don't understand. And he's like, she's deceitful. She's deceitful and she's dangerous. And I was like, she's too like cute and funny and sweet. And, and that particular day, she really was very charming and pushed herself right through the door. Like, I was like, no, no, I'm too busy. And she just was like, well, let me see, blah, 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 or whatever. And like pushed her way through. So thank God there's a cure for it. You can get asbestos out of your system. Um, but as I've said, like all of these things I'm about to mention to you required either a bottle or up to 3 bottles of something that was at least $60 a piece, each bottle, each incident. And some of the things I had to have a separate medicine than the cats had to have. And this has been, I can't even tell you what it's cost me, you guys. So the dark side is seriously like when they say this wealth transfer, taking wealth out of the hands of the wicked and giving it to the saints. I've been like, every time this stuff happens, I'm like, there's a million, there's a million, there's a thank you, there's a million, there's a million. So even though it cost me a heck of a lot to save myself and the cats, and even though we've been through a lot, I know God's reward is coming. Okay. You guys have to look forward to that if you've been suffering like me. If you've been, I can't say suffering. Well, there's been suffering. When suffering is different than actually being in legitimate pain, but that's a whole other subject. But so what happened was I didn't even, I eventually did get exposed to the asbestos. And by the time I got exposed to the asbestos, I mean, I was vacuuming and vacuuming and vacuuming like crazy, trying to get it out of the carpet. Um, and the asbestos somehow triggered something, a bacteria that had been stored in my system for a while, and it let it loose and let it go rampant. And because I had been gluttonous, I had been overindulging in sugar, which God had been telling me, stop the bad habit. And I was like, what bad habit? I don't have any bad habits. I was like, well, I mean, I've been eating a lot, and I've been having a lot of especially sugar and cookies and everything. You guys know that's not good for you. So, but I've been doing it because I've been stressed, and I mean, having to go from place to place and it just, fleeing from dangerous situation to dangerous situation, always having to look over my shoulder, always having to look over, look out for my sweet cats the whole way has been unbelievably stressful. Like it's really taken its toll. So, I was eating I was emotionally eating to cope and to say, hey, it's the holidays, who cares right now? I just am going to soothe myself. So, but God was telling me, stop, stop, stop. And I did. I listened and I stopped eating that stuff. I mean, it's not like stop all sugar, I didn't stop all sugar and that wasn't necessary. But the habit, I had been eating sunflower seeds. And when you guys know, those of you who have also gotten addicted to the sunflower seeds, man, it gets you grazing. It gets you in the habit of constantly eating. And I wasn't doing that before. I mean, I would fast all day and just have one meal, maybe one meal and a snack in a few hours or something. That's my norm. So this is a new thing. but it seemed natural or normal because I was having the sunflower seeds. So I got used to this behavior right here, this gesture. And then, yeah, so God was like, ixnay to that. Like, you got to stop that. And I didn't realize that God was having my back, even though I did stop and I did listen I always listen to God. So I did stop immediately. But what happened was this bacteria had been being fed because of the trigger by the asbestos, and it actually caused a full-blown panic attack. And it was like this bacteria was completely taking over my body. And by the time I called to find out what it was that was going on, when the panic attack happened, and I made the call and I'm just like, okay, what's going on with my body right now? I'm having a panic attack. And they said it's the bacteria that was caused by the asbestos, a release of a bacteria that was kind of dormant in your system, and it's completely taken you over. If you wouldn't have called right now, then you would be at the hospital very soon. You'd be hospitalized. And then I started seeing all these readings pop up. And I was like, how God talks to me through these readings. And they were saying, hey, they were trying to kill you through natural means. They were trying to make it look like it was all natural. And I was like, man, they're sneaky. So anyway, so there's that bacteria. Then there was the asbestos. Then there was some kind of man-made cosmic radiation is causing the cats to like be limping around and excessively thirsty and all kinds of stuff like that. So, yeah, man-made cosmic radiation. I have no idea where they're conjuring something up. I don't know. I don't know how they do what they do, but that's what came up. Microplastics, yellow food dye, autoimmune system attacking itself. So at one point I had my immune system was attacking myself. It was instead of healing me, it was attacking me. Flame retardants, acetaldehyde, direct energy weapon, energy death weapon. I don't know if that's the same thing or not, but it came up different. Chlorine dioxide, pesticides, paraquat. But there was the more recent pesticide is a different one. I forget what that one was, but the one in the past before was paraquat, in which I had raspy breathing and wheezing and all that kind of stuff. Indoor chemtrail powder. So apparently it's not just stuff that's sprayed in the sky above us. You can actually it comes in powder form because I got it inside the house. It was coming through the vents at that one house that I was at where they just kept pouring stuff down the vents at me. Yeah, so indoor chemtrail powder, formaldehyde, tributyl, tributyltin, on my car door handle. They put some kind of substance. Somebody smeared a bunch of stuff all over my car handle, and then they had it on their fingers, and then they put their hands or their fingers on the glass. So I was able to get pictures of all that stuff for the authorities. And then acetone chemical at the hotel that I was at that one time I told you guys about. Alpha virus brought on by the past. That was a virus that was somehow also kind of dormant from the past that came up because it was triggered from the stress, which, the dark forces know all of that was there. Let's see what lay dormant in this body. Okay, let's go. Do. So I hope some of this is clicking for you guys too. That all this stuff is demonic. All of like ill health. I mean, ask Julie Green. She's she'll tell you physical ailments. They're all energetic. Loss of taste from all the stuff that I've been exposed to. I mean, I have it kind of back, or maybe I've just gotten used to it. I don't know. Yeah, anyway. Chemical from the hot tub, which was glutaraldehyde, sulfur dioxide, chlordacone, pyrethroid pesticide, benzene. So, and these aren't even things I didn't even want to put stuff on there that's like toxic detergent happened too. And I was like, toxic detergent. I'm the most organic person. I buy the non-toxic soap. I buy the non-toxic everything. Everything is organic or non-toxic. And uh, yeah, I get it from like natural grocers or places like that where it's just like totally, nothing's gonna harm anybody. Because of all of this, you could see where I'd be paranoid about it, but somehow a we still got some kind of toxic detergent. So I have no idea what that was about. All right. So with the cats, jeez. And these are like some of the symptoms that have been happening over this period of time. Now, this is a very short period of time, like a year and a half, maybe to 2 years ish, that I've been full blown attacked like this. And the poor babies too, but they're as protected as I am. This is the power of God here because I'm still alive and so are they. So they had diarrhea. They couldn't eat. That black magic curse was, yeah, itching, licking, drinking, running around, sneezing, falling, fights, bloating, vomiting, stomach stopped. Yeah, I had to take Nala to the ER emergency vet because she was out in her little that we had like a screen I had a screened in porch and somehow a little whiff of pesticide came through from a neighbor's place or something, and she had to go to the emergency room because her stomach stopped working. I almost lost her. Um, stomach bump, a stomach. Oh yeah, that was the stop working stomach bump, pain, shaking head, not or lethargy, constipation, scabs. So this is what the cats have been exposed to that I've had to buy them medicine for to help them overcome. Sodium hydrochloride, parabens. One of them had a heart problem because of all this. Energetic dust. That was crazy. I mean, you could, I went running errands one time. I came back in the house and the place smelled so much like dust. I was just blown away. So I knew it was, I knew it was a paranormal thing because it was just, I don't, I'm a very, very clean person. And I have like the most powerful, I'm like pointing to one right now, the most powerful air purifiers you can buy. They're like $1,000 or something like that. And they like actually they go after pet dander or anything in the air that could be harmful, even viruses and bacteria and things. They tackle anything in the air and they turn it into oxygen. They're like super, super high tech. And I have multiple of those. So energetic dust was definitely like not possible. And it hit you like you walked into a cloud of dust from like the, I don't know, ancient times. Like if you walked into a really old dusty shed, something it was horrible, a horrible smell. I was choking, my cat was choking, and even when I had it tested, when I made the phone call, all right, what's going on? My cat's sneezing a lot. They said it was energetic dust. I thought, wow, how's that for confirmation? So, liver flukes, cryptococcus fungus, asbestos, bacteria, BPA plastics, silicon sand mix, parasites, pesticides, heavy metal dropped in food. When we were at that last place, somebody actually came through the side door. I think I told you guys. They actually had the key to the place. So they walked right in and I heard them. I was taking a nap, but I was awake because I was, listening to every sound and I could hear somebody open the door, take a few steps, and somebody sprinkled this in the heavy chemical, whatever they put in there. They dropped it into the cat's food and then went back out and they left the door unlocked so they could come back in later. So a mouse trap, one of those glue traps, got on two of my animals. They had to take medicine for that to get that stuff. You can imagine. I just thank God that I was able to get them out of the trap, that I was able to get the trap off of them. Eating string. Demons will make them eat string, things like that. Make them eat things that they shouldn't be eating. Sulfur dioxide, sodium hypochlorite, sodium hypochlorine, geometric storm energy, smog, microchip radiation, sodium fluoride, silica, neurotransmitter issue. but we're still here. This is how protected we are, guys. This is how truly protected we are. And that's the impact we're going to make. The equivalent to all of that is the impact. And the equivalent to all of that is the payback these people are going to receive for what they did. And every time it happens, I'm just like, oh, they're going to get it. Oh, they don't know what they just did. They think they did that to me, but, and yeah. And it's just, it baffles me. It baffles me because I would have anybody's back, you know? I would have anybody's back. I would, anybody in need, anybody like that person that was coming over being really helpful, I was giving her all kinds of things. I gave her like $150 to $200 worth of stuff, either giving her cash or giving her things that she needed or what, and she was already making a Christmas list. My husband would like these things. I like like those entitled people who just like nothing's enough, that kind of thing. So anyway, then I'm not even going to go into how her child is being treated. Not even going to go into that. So I just know the people like this are going to get caught. They're being watched and they're going to get caught and they're really screwed and they know it. So God has, if you've been being attacked like this, you have a very important purpose. And there's nothing you can do to mess it up. You're not going to get off track. Nothing's, you may have lessons still to learn or things to heal or things to get over, but we have to face our fears and get to a point where we really just don't give a shit. Now when I get a panic attack, I'm like, ho hum, here we go again. All right, do a meditation, do this, do that, make the phone call, go get the products. What, it's just, yeah. So get to where pull out your Byron Katie or whatever you got to do and start doing the work that's necessary for you to heal so that you can once and for all put the devil in the tomb. He needs to be gone. So you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in God and that God's got your back like this. You need to know by my example that when you are a good-hearted, kind-hearted person and you do the right things, God's got your back. And like I said, like all of the stuff that's been done to you is all coming back to you. And if it's not through money, then it's going to be through opportunities, or it's going to be through like having the most incredible, beautiful piece of land you've ever, there's something you've loved so much, or an animal that you love so much, or whatever it is. But you've got that like times 100. Whatever you've had done to you, you've got times 100 coming back, at least. And I was getting a lot of messages yesterday that whatever you think you're getting as a reward, you don't have any clue what's coming for you. Like it's not even close. So just know that, okay? So your long suffering is not going to be in vain. Your faith is not going to be in vain. You need to get over any kind of overindulgence. Okay, if you're smoking pot a lot, it's time to stop. You get off of any vices. Stop any vice. Just stop. Stop it. Figure out another way to deal with it, whatever it is, or just do a different thing. Go somewhere else. Change your habits. Change where you go. Change who you hang out with. Change your lifestyle. Do whatever you need to. But you're deciding whether you're siding with the devil right now or God, whether you're choosing fear and to let fear overcome you, or you're choosing God and you're choosing love and you're choosing trust. Are you on the side of good-hearted, kind-hearted people, even if these people are bullying you to pick on this person? Or are you doing the right thing and standing behind them? That is a good person. I'm sure they had good reason. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not even I'm gonna just wave it away, you know, because it's, we are in the craziest times. We are absolutely in the craziest times. But there's going to be like a lot of lawsuits coming up, a lot, for all the stuff that they've been trying to force on people. So, let me read some God cards to you. Let me pick some God cards. I also made some other cards. I might read some of those as well. All right. What do you have to say to the audience today, God? Hashishinka woho sana tarahin. Okay. So if you've been thinking whether to stay where you are or go, staying where you are right now would be best through the scare. Whatever the scare event is that's coming, it'd be best if you kind of hunker down where you are. And I'm feeling like it when it's time for you to go to your next venture or your next home or whatever, it's going to be kind of after the dust settles. So stay where you are and go do what you're going to do after that's happened. Okay. Your job right now is to just relax and let me take care of everything. Just stay connected to me. So stay connected to God is being present in the moment. Just staying present. Okay. That's where God resides, and that's the kingdom of God within you. Okay. I didn't even know I had this card. Get ready to see, I forgot that I had it at least. Get ready to receive more than you've ever hoped for. See, God would not be saying that. God does not mess around. These God cards, they've always come true. You know, yeah. Don't be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see deliverance. The Lord will fight for you. You need only be still. Okay, that's Psalms 91. Oh, I had somebody, 9/11. Interesting. So that might be referring to the emergency that's going to happen. The EBS is going to happen. I've been getting tons about that. So I'm going to show you the scripture. I think it's Psalm 40 maybe. Well, let me see. I may have put it. Yeah, I put it somewhere. Hang on a second. In case you guys want to know. Psalm 40. So this is Psalm 40 at the very beginning of it. Okay. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and he heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. That's presence. Okay. That's the present moment. He set my feet on a rock, which is what gives you, when I had the panic attack, whenever I have something like that happen, I immediately go within, drop all thoughts. That's where you don't suffer. That's where you stop the suffering. You may still have physical sensations, but if there's no past and there's no future thoughts, if you're just totally here in the now moment, you cannot suffer. Okay? You can experience, you can't really suffer. So he lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire, and he set my feet on a rock of the present moment and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. So that's what's going on right now. So he put a new song in my mouth. Now, the only way that he would hear that song, and I get that too sometimes. I might be going through something and then I'll just be like, hush, oh, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh, hush, oh, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, oh, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh, my Lord, what shall I do? Oh, what shall I do? Sounds like Jesus. Somebody's calling my name. Whoa, sounds like Jesus. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like Jesus. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Oh, what shall I do? So you might have the only time that you're going to hear that song or hear that voice or hear those instructions or get that guidance is if you quiet. If you quiet your thoughts, you quiet your mind, is what that's saying. You'll be in the muck and the mire, flipping around, afraid of whatever it is you're afraid of. Everybody's different. Everybody has different circumstances. But you are brought out of the muck and the mire and you're put on a solid rock when you get present, when you drop all the thoughts and you're just here with God, holding hands with God in that moment on a rock. And he gives you a firm place to stand when you go there with him. He'll put a new song or a new inspiration. He'll give you a new song or inspiration, a hymn of praise. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. So we are going to have like biblical stuff start happening here, and it's going to make people believe. And those of you who are watching me right now, this is one of your avenues to believing in God. Any of you who were being tempted off path, any of you who were thinking to take some shortcuts and maybe go to the dark side, I hope I've changed your mind. They're going to pay a tremendous price very soon. Very, very soon. We want them to heal, but if they're going to continue to just be stupid, then we can't stop what's coming for them. So stand firm and you will see deliverance. The Lord will fight for you. You need only be still. That's all we ever have to do. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh my gosh, and then I sit and I get quiet. I put a smile on my face. And I witness myself. I watch myself while I'm being present. Feels so good. And I'll just sit here with a smile on my face. And I'll pick a God card and it'll say, you just averted a tower moment by going within in the now moment and putting a smile on your face. Try it. I've gotten that card quite a bit. So it works. Many of you who also have been being harassed and don't realize, and you're just kind of trying to slip out of every trap they set for you, or try to frame you or make you look bad or talk bad or act like you're doing something wrong when you're not, or whatever it is. A lot of these people have been being watched, and you're not the only one that they're doing it to. So they're going after those people. There are authorities even playing both sides that are going to be taking these people down. They're not going to let anything happen to you ultimately. Whatever you've been contemplating, I got you. Have no fear. And it's going to be coming up really soon. It's time to relax and go on vacation and just connect with him. I'll replenish you, he says. So, and wherever you settle down and call home, I will keep you and your pets safe. So please just follow your heart and don't worry. I got you. Okay. Some of you may become famous. If you kind of feel like a celebrity already in some ways, you might be kind of getting your feet wet energetically. Like God's just trying to kind of acclimate you to that idea. I don't know, like if there's something about your story or something. Your neighbors care about you more than your neighbors care about you. More people care for you than you know. Oh yeah, gaslighting was the thing that was coming up, that when God was talking about doing this talk, he was talking about gaslighting is not working anymore. People are wise to it now. They're not falling for those tricks anymore. You putting it back on them, like they're crazy or something's wrong with them. Oh, and I know these guys like wanted me to go down when I had those panic attacks. They wanted to make me look crazy so that I would be completely invalidated. I'm too emotionally mature for you guys to do that. I'm too self-aware. I'm too far gone to the light. There's no way. You may make me go through that for a minute, but that's all you get. And the payback for having done that to me, I can't even tell you. You're probably feeling it now. You guys you're doing it to yourselves. Anybody attacking me or my cats, you guys are doing it to yourselves. So, yeah. Um, and yeah, you're going to be healed. Yeshua is teaching you his ways as well. So his way is meditation, presence, and healing. Some catastrophes may still happen, but you and your loved ones will be guided to safety. You are important to this earth's future. You have a bright future and will love where all this is going. So please trust I'm still in control. So that's the other thing too, is that we do have to just trust that God's in control now too. So what happens sometimes too, especially those of us who we know, like the networks, the back channels, we watch Rumble and Telegram and all these things. So we know like the real truth that's going on behind the scenes, which is, outdated and everything anyway, because everything, by the time we get the news, it's like usually it's already done or pre-recorded or still involving actors and everything, so we never really know the real truth except what God tells us in our intuition. But what was I going to say about that? Thinking that we know the truth and we don't necessarily, but we just have to trust, that we get the misinformation too. So we'll be like, oh, well, I know what's going on, and this is going to happen and that's going to happen. We get excited and totally relieved and like, okay, we're okay. Everything's going to be cool. Then we get this other piece of information and it's like, I didn't think of that. Or, oh shit, is that really happening? Oh no, and then we panic and then we get like off, we get off path. We get misaligned. So if you're on, if just believe it's all working. Believe it's all working out. Believe in yourself. Believe in love. Believe in God. Believe. Okay, there we go. Divine surrender. Yeah, we can't control anything. We have to just let it go. We need to just surrender. I'm going to pause this so that I can find it. Okay, that didn't take too long. Wow. Huh. That's funny because I read it as believe what you cannot control, but it's release what you cannot control. As much as it may scare us to admit we cannot control money or any form of abundance, or any form of abundance. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. We cannot control exactly how much flows to us. We cannot control how it comes or when. We cannot always control what expenses arise. But what we can control is our inner state and the way we choose to perceive and react to things external to us. When we channel our focus toward what's within our power, we stop blocking ourselves from the opportunities for money to flow to us. So when we channel our focus toward what's within our power, we stop blocking ourselves from opportunities for money to flow to us. Okay, so just channel all your energy into what you can control and then let go. This card is asking you to surrender control. Release it to the universe. Offer it up to be handled while you turn your attention to what you can control. Nurture your sense of self-worth. Focus your thoughts on what's possible for you. Do things that feel good. And remember that what you put your focus on, you create more of. You draw more of that to you. If it's complaining, you're gonna bring more stuff to complain about to you. If you're super grateful and you kind of milk that energy, then you're going to bring more things to be grateful for. So unburden yourself from the impossible task of controlling what you cannot. The more you surrender, the fewer blocks you create between yourself and abundance. Okay. So, and I know that black magic has been, I mean, I know the black magic has put a huge kink in the spokes of my business for sure. So, I've even heard some of you smart people actually know that that's going on and you push through anyway. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. But some people have actually been turned off by me, not realizing that it's a spell. Um, so I mean they can make you appear ugly to people. They can make you suspect people. Black magic spells can make you distrust the person. They can make you like give all kinds of false warnings. I mean, it goes on and on. So this is really a time to learn discernment and to go know how to go to God and be in your heart space when you do go to God. If you have trouble trying to figure out if this is, some type of bad influence or if it's God or whatever, put your hand on your heart, sit quietly, empty your mind completely, breathe, and just say God with a capital G, because there is an evil lowercase g God. God with a capital, so many tricks today. Capital G, who has compassion for humanity and loves me more than anything in the whole world, because he loves all of us that much. And say, is this person trustworthy for me? Should I get a reading? Should I get this service? Do you feel like I should do it? And it feels good. It warms your heart. And you're like, I'm going to do it. That feels great. Then do it. Don't let black magic stop you. And if you guys want to donate, I'm not going to stop you right now. I mean, this is just taking me through the ringer financially. I'm just like, come on, Harvey, come on. So any of you who would like me to help me to recuperate some of the money I've lost with all this, man, would I be incredibly grateful. You don't even know how grateful I would be. And I will give you a big old blessing for that. I will. So, okay, so here are some cards about making a decision. And you know what? You can get these from Amazon and just write on the back, time to take a break. It's this so cool because you can make your own deck. I have another one here about people. So these are about like making choices. So in the days ahead, it's nice to have a tool to be able to say, like, what's the choice I need to make right now? What is it that I need to do? Obviously, you just saw a card that says take a break. I tried to think of everything, every decision that you'd ever have to make, and it's in here. So, all right. So God, what do you want to tell these guys that they need to do right now? What is a decision that they need to make, or what do they need to do right now, please, when they watch this video? Join or create a group, club, team, or community. Awesome. If you feel inspired to do so and you're already thinking to do it, take a vacation. That's confirmation. Maybe you'll be taking a vacation during the event. Maybe you'll just be taking a vacation in the kingdom of God within you. Don't fall for temptation. No gluttony, no overindulgence, you guys. You're proving that you are the master over the devil. When you're falling for that stuff, the devil has mastery over you, and you're picking a side in doing so. Make time for something you love. Quit a bad habit. Quit a bad habit. That's the one I got the other day. I had to laugh because I only have one of these in the deck. But I kept pulling it over and over and over. I mean, I would shuffle and then I'd pull it again. And I'd be like, really? Right? You might be writing a book. on your experiences. Your freedom is paramount. Very, very important. So whatever you need to do, you might negotiate. You might have to use some negotiating skills. Practice your negotiating skills. Okay. Do we do a person one? Okay. If there's somebody in your life that you're kind of questioning whether you should trust them or not, I'm going to pick one right now. Pick the most relevant one, the one that's kind of more in your face than others. We're going to take a look at that person right now and see, God, can you please, it's going to be so different for all of you, but we're going to take a collective consensus on the energy of the person that you're feeling into right now as everyone watching this video. Okay, God, what do they need to know about this person? Big time cooties. Big time cooties. That's somebody who doesn't practice any kind of morals, any kind of like energetic hygiene. Like these people are just flat out dirty. Volunteer. So maybe I don't know if that's, maybe they are a volunteer or need to volunteer. If they're involved, they need to do it for free or something. Maybe that'll chase them off. Sure, you can work for me, but it'll be for free, and they'll be like, I don't know. Volunteer might mean something to you, but something about free. Don't give them any money, maybe. That could be it. Healing connection. It may be leading to a healing connection. It may be somebody with really bad cooties healing connection. Maybe they need to clear their energy. Maybe you need to heal things with this person and teach them energy work or something, or be like, hey, you got big time cooties. Like you should you should learn how to cleanse your energy. You should learn how to smudge your place. You should learn how to, they're too negative. They're too negative. So maybe the healing connection is like leaving people like that behind, setting healthy boundaries and healing yourself and your connection to God. Consider it. So you consider healing your relationship with God, just going present. You don't need that person. You don't need to have those kind of negative people, but you can learn from them. You can learn from it. Or you could learn a lesson. If you keep that person in your life, you'll learn a lesson. Could be a colleague, somebody you work with, somebody you volunteer with. They got two faces. Okay. So I hope that helps. We are really putting our past and who we used to be, even yesterday. We were putting our past and who we used to be to bed once and for all, including Satan. Satan is our past. The devil is our past. Tyranny, force, rules, regulations, anything harsh, anything that's like rah, 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 all of that. That's part of our past. It's dead and gone. And we're leaning now toward fairness, compassion, love, kindness, considering, negotiating, working with kind-hearted people, like-hearted people, standing up for the underdog. Keep your focus on what you want to have happen in the future. There's so many. Well, what is the future going to be like? Is AI still going to take over? It's like we've got the Starlink and the quantum financial system. I can't see how that would happen. I heard like Andy Schectman say in a talk recently, oh, it's going terrible or whatever. He seems like a real worry wart. I'll tell you, that's one thing that man puts off whenever I watch any of his videos. He's in a lack mentality, even though he's surrounded by precious metals. But it's okay. You just take people with a grain of salt and you just go, okay, is that the reality I'm in? So I think that they have a lot of exposure about a lot of these things, but I honestly don't feel like that's a timeline I'm on. So, and you can choose the timeline you're going to be on by aligning with it. So don't go into a fearful timeline over there. Come over onto this one that's where everything, all the right things are happening. Justice is happening. We're about to have the Brunson case be overturned, and that's going to be phenomenal. And you know what's going to happen. And once that happens, it's like there's no turning back from there. And we already had the Chevron deference. If you guys have been watching Dr. Kia Pruitt, you probably know about some of these things already. But the Chevron deference, all three-letter agencies are completely shut down. They have nothing to stand on. Nobody can come after you about your business. Nobody can get in your business. No homeowners associations, no IRS, no FBI, nothing. There's nothing like governmental or somebody, some kind of a board that says, oh, you are not adhering to our rules, so you cannot practice and your license will be taken away. None of that bullshit's going to happen. None of it has a leg to stand on right now, legally, right now, already. Okay. It's already happened. People just don't know about it yet because they're still brainwashed. So there's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of legislation is going on behind the scenes, cleaning up all this mess, and all these corrupt people are all being taken away. There's not going to be this anymore. We're so used to it. We are so used to it. So this is where we're being encouraged to leave all those ways behind, all the ways of fearing that stuff will happen to you, and lean into this. Be imagining this. Be imagining having interactions with people that are warm and loving and even joking around or laughing or lightheartedness, and lean into that. Do meditations and daydream about how incredible it's going to be to have all these, to have a community and all these people sharing their wisdom and having your back and actually respecting commitments and all the beautiful things that God created us to be and to enjoy from the start. Be leaning into that, putting all your energy into that, you guys, and don't give up. Depression, suicide, and all that stuff. Satan is really going to be going after people, really being, but in a matter of hopefully days, if not a few, short weeks. I feel definitely by the end of the year for sure, but I feel like within a few days with what's going on in Iraq and everything, there's going to be a lot of people feeling a lot of relief and never looking back on lack again. So let lack rest in peace. Okay. And for the bad guys watching this, don't worry. I'm already dead. The old me, she's gone. You got your way. I died. I did. But I also resurrected. So I'm back with a vengeance. God's vengeance, not mine. He's gonna come take care of what's happened, and all you guys are gonna get yours. So, and that's the way it ought to be, because what you did was very selfish, and what you did was very harmful, and it was stuff that you couldn't even have taken if was given to you. You probably couldn't even take one of those things being given to you. Like, maybe two. And hopefully it's made a believer out of some of you. Hopefully you've realized there is a God. He does protect his loved ones. And yeah, and that was silly. So maybe you can heal now. So maybe you can, anyway. And you have all the answers within you. I feel somebody needs to hear this. You have all the answers that you need within you if you're enlightened. Yeshua wants us to be enlightened. Yeshua's way is enlightenment. Okay. It's not saving yourself and, praying a certain prayer or praying Jesus into your heart. It's none of that nonsense. Okay. It's enlightenment. Some of us have been bold and brave enough to leave the Bible and actually venture out and read other books that explain what really happened back when. So we know the truth. Now, there are some good words in the Bible, and I refer to them often, but a lot of the Bible was completely manipulated. So take the good from it. Okay. Take any inspiration from it. But, yeah, forgot what I was going to say with that, but stay inspired, you guys, and only listen to stuff that makes you excited. Only talk to people that make you excited. Only have people in your life who are actually genuine, authentic, and have your back, who support you truly. And your senses kind of know when somebody's kind of tricking you. And sometimes we can be really sweet. We can be really, really nice. And we want to trust people. We want to believe that they're really, that they're good people. But, there was probably a part of you that's already said, I probably shouldn't. But learn to listen and act on God's little promptings, as quiet and subtle as they can be. Listen, and maybe make yourself maybe make yourself some cards so that you can better decipher what God's trying to tell you to. You could do that as well. The main deck that I have is mostly scripture. Yeah, so you make time for something you love, like God and yourself, right? But most of the cards that I have in that deck and my God deck are scripture, but they're true. They're if you see them in the right light. So, yeah. All right, you guys. Have yourselves a beautiful rest of your day. I hope something helped you or inspired you or gave you a leg up somehow or got you out of the gutter or got you to stop that bad habit before something bad happens or whatever. It's time to clean up your life and say goodbye and maybe even do a ceremony and say goodbye to your old self because you're about to step into a whole new life, a whole new lifestyle, and a whole new everything. Everything is going to change very soon. So, and it's very positive and very exciting. So believe that, know that, even though it's a mystery and we don't quite know how that's going to look, we do know a lot of things, very positive things that are happening to support us in that, support us in the fight or in any kind of lawsuits that we need to do. Anything like that we need to, more and more people are going to start standing up for themselves for that nonsense that's been going on for way too long. Nobody should ever dictate what's right or wrong for us and wiggle a finger at us about anything. There are no authorities. There are no real authorities. God is the only authority. So, and he's the one who says whether you should do something or not. And as long as you're listening to God, then you're totally within your rights. So always listen to God, and rise above this, push back against anything that's unethical or immoral or that's not lining up with the Constitution, like what we're talking about, because that's what's going to start tipping things over is us doing the right thing and peacefully pushing back, peacefully pushing forward into doing the right thing, everyone doing the right thing and that becoming the norm instead of I'm going to bully you and you're going to do as I say, period. That's going to be a thing of the past. That's going to rest in peace. Maybe take a pad of paper out and just write rest in peace at the top and everything you want to rest in peace. What are you letting go of? You're letting go of lack, force, giving in, people pleasing, all of that. You're just going to boop, 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 boop. Even if I lose my job, I'm going to do the right thing. Even if I, have to do whatever, be willing to make those sacrifices to do the right thing. And you are going to be backed up by God, and you're going to be backed up by a legal team and all kinds of things if somebody does you wrong. Okay, I love you guys. Send you a big giant hug. Enjoy your holidays. And we've got some wonderful surprises coming up very soon. Some scary surprises, but some really incredible things are going to be happening as well. So get ready because a lot's going to be happening. Okay. And remember that I'm always with you as well. Daily boosters, I'm always sending you my love many times throughout the day. All right. Bye, guys.